Dana White just announced the UFC 310 card today, and we got some fights to get into because this is a super exciting card. Belal Muhammad's getting turned around faster than we thought. So stick around to hear the fights that are on UFC 310 in December. I'm Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. And before we get into the video, guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. Become a channel member if you want access to extra content, all that good stuff. Thank you very much. Back to the video. So Dana White just announced UFC 310 in Las Vegas, December 7th, the Las Vegas pay-per-view that they always wrap the year with. And we got two title fights, the last two title fights of 2024 coming up in about 2 months. We got Belal Muhammad getting turned around relatively fast for a new champion. This is just a hair over 4 months after he beat Leon Edwards, which is a fairly quick turnaround. And as you can see from the comments right here, the fans seem to think that Dana's trying to get the belt off Belal real quick, which he doesn't seem like the most profitable champion, so I do understand. So they announced Belal Muhammad versus Shavkat Rakhmonov as the main event. This was the fight that we were expecting. They talked about Kamaru Usman. Belal threw his name out there. Kamaru Usman was calling for it. But obviously, Usman's lost 3 fights in a row. That fight's not going to happen. But a weird fight that is happening as the co-main event, which I expected based on the recent bookings that had been made at men's flyweight. Asakura, former Ryzen champion, is coming over to the UFC and getting a title shot against Alexandre Pantoja in his UFC debut, which... it's not crazy considering the state of the flyweight division. Makayev's gone. Usyk just lost. Tatsudo Taira and Royval are actually fighting today, the day that I'm filming this video. So I get it, and they need something fun. They need something for Pantoja that's fun that people go, okay, fuck it, let's see what happens. So I actually like this fight being made. It's what I expected. And it's kind of what I wanted. I want to see how this guy's going to fare. We'll get into each individual fight in a second, but I just want to get all the fights out for you guys. Gane versus Volkov rematch. This was supposed to be on UFC 308 in Abu Dhabi. Volkov had a undisclosed injury, so the fight got pushed back to Vegas, UFC 310. I could see the winner of this fight fighting Tom Aspinall, potentially, if they don't do Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira. And we also have the return of Nick Diaz against Vicente Luque. I'm not really sure why they want to make this fight happen, but it is. I feel like there's way more fun fights for Nick Diaz, but here we are. And here we actually have the full main card and featured prelim. We're not sure where they're going to put Sterling versus Movsar and Smith versus Reyes, but the top 4 of the title fights, Gane versus Volkov and Luque versus Diaz, those are all obviously main card fights. So we also have Movsar Evloev against Aljamain Sterling. This fight was supposed to happen on the Alex Pereira and Khalil Roundtree card. Aljamain Sterling had to pull out, so now it's happening in December. And we also have Dom Reyes versus Anthony Smith. I think this one was actually originally booked for the Stipe and Jones card in MSG, but it got moved to Vegas in December. So let's go through these fights, guys. I want to give you my thoughts, my early thoughts and early predictions. They may change before the fights actually come around. But early thoughts and predictions on this card. Belal Muhammad versus Shavkat Rakhmonov in the main event for the welterweight title. Belal Muhammad's coming off of a title win against Leon Edwards at UFC 304 in Manchester. Shavkat Rakhmonov is 18-0 with 18 finishes. Look, guys, Belal finds a way to win fights that we think he's not going to win. I thought Leon was going to cook him, but I think this one I'm very confident in picking Shavkat in this one. I don't see my pick changing in this one. I'm going to go with Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think he's going to make the fight dirty. I think he's too dangerous in too many spots. And I think that Belal is going to get frustrated after a hard first couple rounds where it's really a dogfight and it's not all just one-way cardio traffic from Belal Muhammad. Because Belal is used to one-way traffic in his most recent fights. For example, Gilbert Burns got hurt. Belal Muhammad was able to pretty much do whatever he wanted in that fight due to the Burns injury. Leon Edwards also didn't really show up that night, and it was one-way traffic for Belal Muhammad. So in this fight, we'll actually be able to see how Belal responds to something coming back his way, because Shavkat is a menace. The co-main event, we have Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Asakura. Kai Asakura is a very exciting striker. His last 2 wins were body shot knees, I believe. Pantoja is going to try to make this boring as hell. He is going to try to do what he did against Brandon Royval, grind out a 25-minute decision in top half guard. I hope that's not what happens. I'm not trying to slander Pantoja because he is down to throw hands. And he does have exciting fights. He was beating Urseg in some exchanges on the feet, and he beat Brandon Moreno in a lot of exchanges. I'm not saying that Pantoja is afraid to strike with Asakura, anything like that, but I just think that it's the easiest path to victory. And I think that Asakura could get a win here. I think I'm going to stick with my gut on this one and say Pantoja gets this one done by decision as my early prediction. But as the fight comes along, I'll do more research on Asakura, and my pick might change. I'm pretty confident in Shavkat, though. We'll see. Down from there, we have Gane versus Volkov 2. Ciryl Gane won the first fight. Alexander Volkov has put on a lot of muscle and gotten a lot more physical and just better overall. Swolkov is here to make a name for himself in the heavyweight division, all right? He's been Volkov. We know Alexander Volkov, but Swolkov's here. And I think it's going to be a tough fight. I should lean towards Volkov given the activity and the fact that fighting seems to be like third or fourth on the priorities for Ciryl Gane. He's filming movies, celebrity appearances, modeling, all that type of stuff. And he seems to be more of like a celebrity than a fighter, even though he's not like as big as a Conor McGregor where you'd say, oh yeah, that guy's just a celebrity. Everyone knows him. But he's really big in France, and it doesn't seem like fighting is #1 on the list for him. So I should go with Volkov based on that. Mindset, growth, activity. Early prediction, pick Ciryl Gane. I think Ciryl Gane finds a way to get it done against everyone that's not a heavy wrestler for the most part, or doesn't heavy wrestle him, because Francis Ngannou's not a heavy wrestler, but he did heavily wrestle Ciryl Gane. Down from there, we have Nick Diaz versus Vicente Luque. And look, I'm going to go with Vicente Luque in this one. Nick Diaz came back 3-ish years ago. I think it was September of 21. He came back when he fought Robbie Lawler. Didn't look like himself. Looked like a guy that had been out of the gym or out of fighting for 6 or 7 years. And now this is 3 years. Maybe he's more committed to this, but it seemed like he was there for a paycheck when he fought on the Ortega and Volkanovski card, I think it was. He fought Robbie Lawler. And Vicente Luque, don't get me wrong, he quit against Joaquin Buckley. He got punched and he just decided that he was done. So these are two guys that are on the back end of their careers. Nick Diaz basically out of his career almost. But if he gets a win here, he's a ranked welterweight, and you know they're going to go, all right, title shot for Nick Diaz. They're going to go 14th ranked, time for Nick Diaz to get a title shot at 40 years old. I wouldn't be against it, but I'm actually going to go out on a limb here, even though I should pick Vicente Luque. And I should be picking Vicente Luque for the same reasons that I said I should be picking Volkov, but I'm going to go with Nick Diaz, random. I don't know how. Decision, puts the pace on him. That's what I'm thinking. Movsar Iavloya versus Aljamain Sterling. This is going to be a grappling heavy matchup. So all of you people in the comments that act like you like boring top control grappling that does not chase submissions or ground and pound, all of you guys that think you're such hardcores because you like watching Merab stall or you like watching Mario Batista stall, we're going to see a whole lot of that in this fight, unless Aljo can snatch a sub. But I see a very, very slow fight. And you guys can talk about how it's real fighting and it's technique and you guys are casuals, but you guys enjoy that one. I'm still going to watch it, but I'm going to criticize it heavily because it's going to be a dog shit style. You guys that like that type of shit, act like you like it. That's fine. Nobody cares. Smith versus Reyes is the last announced fight currently. Dom Reyes versus Anthony Smith. Lionheart Smith has been around for a long time. He's lost a lot recently. He lost to a middleweight in his last fight. Dom Reyes' title run started with the Dustin Jacoby win. So I'm rolling with the hot guy. No Jones, no Diddy. The guy coming off of the win. That's hot. No Diddy, no Jones, but I'm going to pick Dom Reyes in that one. I really like this. I really like this card. There's no massive superstars. Nick Diaz is a big name. Asakura is a huge star in Japan. Shavkat Rakhmonov could become the very first Kazakh champion. Belal Muhammad has his Palestine supporters. People do like him. And like the way they pieced this card together without having any massive stars is actually perfect. I've been really hating on the UFC matchmaking lately, but I'm very happy with this card. So guys, that's my thoughts on the UFC 310 announcement. Let me know your thoughts down below. Who's going to win these fights? How are they going to get it done? What fight are you most excited for? Does Asakura deserve this title shot in his UFC debut? Let me know in the comments down below. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. It really helps me out a lot. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, then become a channel member today for access to members only live streams, vlogs, and some other members perks. So click the link in the description down below or the join button on our channel homepage to become a member today. If you're interested in some non-MMA content from me, go check out my personal channel, Wyatt's World, and go check out my my weekly comedy podcast, What's Up Bro, with Wyatt and Bo. Both of those are linked in the description down below. Go watch this suggested video, and we'll see you next time.